Hi there, I'm Sarah Bailey. I'm a certified professional coach and a wife and mother of four kiddos, ages 10 to 2 years old. And I have been thinking a lot over the past couple weeks about challenges that come up, not only in the people that I coach, the companies that I coach, but the individuals themselves and my friends and family who come to me with issues and struggles. I've been thinking about what the biggest roadblock is for the people that I work with. And what I have come up with is negativity. Of course, it's in all of our lives. A lot of the media is negative. Some people we know are negative. It's everywhere. There's also positives as well. But one of the biggest things that comes up is negativity. And over the 100 or so people that I've worked with for the 4+ years that I've been coaching, this has been a common theme. Not necessarily that the people I work with are negative people, but they experience negative energy. And when I talk about energy, I'm talking about positive energy and negative energy. So how you respond or react to a situation. Do you react in a positive way or do you react in a negative way? So that's what I'm talking about when I say energy. Let me give you an example. Saturday was our youngest, John Collins' second birthday. And so on Monday, he had his 2-year checkup at the doctor. This is one of the first times that I've actually done it within the week of their birthday. I usually forget and end up a couple weeks later realizing that we haven't done our well checkup yet. But this time, fourth time's a charm, I was on the ball. And so I took him to the doctor and I left in enough time. I was feeling good. I was going to make it on time and pulled into the parking deck. And as I was going around the aisles, I saw somebody get into their car, and so I waited for their space. And I made sure to look behind me and make sure, nobody was waiting for me. And after a minute or two, somebody came up and I kind of looked and checked what they were doing. They were putting a stroller in their trunk. So I just kind of waited a second, gave them a minute. And then I kept looking back and kind of making sure that they weren't getting aggravated with me. And then another car pulled up behind them. So at that point, I'm starting to get a little anxious. I'm getting a little nervous, like, come on, guys, let's get the show on the road. I had plenty of time to get to my appointment, but I was reacting to the people getting behind me, and I was getting anxious that they were going to be upset with me. So I still had my window rolled down from when I got my parking ticket, and I looked back, and the gentleman behind me, someone beeped, and so I looked back, and the gentleman behind me had his window down too, and he said, I didn't beep at you, but I'm going to if you don't hurry up. So my heart starts pumping and I get all frazzled. And then I look to the car behind him who actually did beep at me. And it was this older lady who was talking, in her car totally about me. I could tell she was shaking her finger and getting all frustrated. And I said, I'm waiting for a parking space. I mouthed it. So totally sensing their frustration and aggravation, I just pulled off and went to a new space and totally flustered, totally changed my demeanor, my energy. I was in a good mood. Now I'm all stressed, I'm frustrated, and everything like that. So this is an example of a situation that changed my energy. And what this is called is entrainment. Now, I've talked with tons of people about entrainment. And this is interesting. Every single person that I spoke with about this phenomenon, entrainment, everyone had an experience where they got it. They knew it, they felt it, they felt like they went from this place in a good mood to their energy, they get sucked down to a negative place. So every single person that I've talked to about this has had an experience where they can relate to that. But to this day, not one person really knew that it was called entrainment or that it had an explanation. And what that explanation is, it's a syncing of energies. So it's when you're in one space and another person is in another space. So if you're in a good mood and your phone rings and you look down at your caller ID and you say, oh gosh, I cannot talk to that person right now. So that's somebody saying, that's entraining your energy from in a good spot to a bad spot. You haven't even talked to them yet, but you saw their name, and they're generally a negative person or have a problem or complain about something. And so you automatically go from your good day to, oh my gosh, I cannot deal with this right now. That's entrainment. It's important to remember that it also happens the other way around. So if you go to church and you have a great sermon or homily on Sunday, or if you go to a motivational speaker and you're pumped and you're so excited and you're just can't wait, and then at the end you feel like you're on top of the world. So entrainment is a sinking of energies. It's like a magnet, and it happens both ways. You have to remember that. But typically in our daily life, it happens from you're in a good space, in a positive space, and you get synced to a negative space. So, and that's what happened to me yesterday. That's exactly what happened to me. I had enough time. I started saying in my head, if you would have left in enough time, you wouldn't have this problem. So I'm diving down to a lower level instead of just saying, okay, they may be late, or okay, maybe I am taking a little bit longer and should find a new space. So there's another way to look at it instead of automatically going from where I am down to where they are in their negative space. So when I talk about this and talk about positive and negative energy, it affects everything that happened from that moment on. And that's how it happens with us too. When you're in an experience where you have negative emotions, or the person that you're dealing with is having a negative impact on you, it's important to stop and recognize this is what's happening, and that you have control over how you respond. You don't have to go right down to where they are and either argue or get defensive, or you can feel like, oh, woe is me, I'm just trying to get my baby to the doctor and these people are being so mean to me. There's so many ways that it can show up negatively, but you don't have to do that. The important thing I think that everyone should recognize with this phenomenon, the entrainment, is that you have a choice. So what I hope that you get from this video is, number one, what entrainment is, and so that you can recognize it when it happens to you. Number two, I want you to remember that you totally have a choice. So once you start recognizing it, you can say, stop right there. I'm not going to give this person control over how I feel about my day. And this is one of the biggest things, like I said, when I'm coaching companies, when I'm coaching friends or clients, when I'm coaching my kids, or even though my husband doesn't like it, when I'm coaching him. This is one of the biggest things that comes up, is when you're in a space and you get pulled down to a negative energy or a negative space and mood, that you have a choice. You can stop and say, I'm not going to give this person control over my day. I hope this helped. This is just one of hopefully many videos that I'll come up with. I'm just trying to rack my brain and think about all the things that are that come up in our lives, and hopefully this will help you out and get you on the right track. Have a great day.